Ridley's Lair Caves. Oh, what's your favourite place from Metroid 1? Oh, I'm a big fan of Kraid's Lair because, you know, I love the music and all that. What's your favourite place in Fusion? Well, I really like the Aqua Sector, Sector 4, because of the underwater area and the music. Oh, what's your favourite place from Metroid 2? The 6th area. And why is that? Oh, because it's got a good layout to it. You know, the level design and thematics here aren't very appealing. But again, that's, say it with me, likely because of the Game Boy's limitations. So that was a sudden cut there, but you know, it made it look like I just got fed up with the being caught off guard by the little buggers on the way down. You know what? That's what they are. They're the drones from Halo. In fact, I asked this question at least 4 or 5 times a year, but I've never bothered to look it up and figure it out. In Halo, the bug enemies that sometimes come up in 2 and 3, and I think ODST, are they called drones or buggers? I've honestly got no idea. I think in 2 they never say their name, but they say buggers. But I think that buggers is capitalized. But in 3 they're called drones, I think. So I don't know if the buggers was just, you know, saying these buggers, you know, as in using the word buggers. And drones was still the actual name. I still have no idea. It's been a good few years and I still don't know the answer to that question. And you know what? I don't think it'll be answered anytime soon unless I suddenly remember to look it up. In fact, I'm pretty sure I already asked that question in the Halo 2 Let's Play, so... and I asked it again recently. And speaking with someone, so that's a good 3 times this year already. We're making progress. Oh yeah, these rocks. You can't use bombs, you have to use missiles. For some strange reason, and I can't think of another time when they use those. It's weird, but sure. And then those enemies, there's a lot of things that are coming up now that only appear about once or twice and just never again. You know, how many times have we seen these enemies? They're pretty prevalent throughout the entire game, but can't think of much else. Also, it's kind of cool those the little artifact effect that's going on because of the Super Game Boy, or it might be my Metroid 2 cartridge or something like that. I don't know, something wacky's going on. This is all official hardware, so you know, no emulation stuff going on here. But it sort of looks like steam rising out of the ground. Oh, okay, suddenly a gamma in the hallway. It sort of looks like steam rising out of the ground, because of, you know, the lava's just been drained from this area recently, so, you know, there's still steam rising out of the ground. I don't know, a little explanation for it. Let's give it that. It's like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, in the manual, they gave an explanation as to why sometimes you just get stuck in walls. That's because it was a glitch, right? It's a glitch, and they couldn't figure out how to fix it. You just go too fast and get clipped through a wall. So then they said in the manual and the instructions, they said, "Oh, be careful of Dr. Robotnik's traps. They're evil. They're dangerous. The only way to get out of those is to reset the console, so don't get stuck." Which is funny now, but I still think that's, you know, it's a decent way of explaining things, I suppose. It actually makes me think of in Donkey Kong 64. Apparently, Rare was having a issue where the game would, without the expansion pack, the game would just crash every hour or so. You know, and they couldn't fix it, so they used a memory pack. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a second. This is a new form of Metroids. These are Zeta Metroids. They are aggressive. Very aggressive. They will come at you non-stop. And they can be a little dangerous to deal with. But thankfully, the design of Area 6 actually... So we just went into that little save area before. In that area, there's also Chozo statues with all of the previous beam upgrades. There's a missile refill station, there's energy refill, and there's save points. And it's, you know, that area's in the middle, this part right here, this tower essentially. And what's the name? There's all sorts of tunnels on the outskirts which lead to Metroids, so, you know, once you're done with the Metroid, come back in here, save, fill up, all that, and go back out for another Metroid. And I really like that. That's why Area 6 is my favourite area, despite the fact we're dealing with Zetas, who are a little bit painful, but oh well. But back to the Donkey Kong 64 thing, you know, they could have done the similar explanation for the game crashing every hour or so and just go, oh, well, you know, remember to take breaks. You know, if you don't take breaks, then the game will make you take a break. I don't know. So coming in here to find Gamma. So yeah, we sort of spoiled the Zeta. I say Zeta? Zeta? I don't know. I'm saying it really. The Zeta surprise. That sounds weird and slightly ominous and disgusting. We're still fighting Gammas alongside Zeta Metroids. So, there you go. Just like before. Yeah, and each one of them has this little entrance chasm to them with just spikes everywhere. As long as you got good rhythm with the space jump, you can get through it just fine. In fact, this area is very vertical. Which is a little strange, but... I mean, you got the space jump, right? And I guess you could spider ball over all this, and I guess you don't need to do that. You could just try and jump over all of it. That would be painful. Oh, yeah, look at that secret little thing there, but which is not great. But yeah, so in this, I guess it's like a facility sort of thing because there's all sorts of buildings here. In this area, you have all access to all 4 beams. So I've gone back and I've got the Spazer beam because I was sick of the plasma already. So I switched back to Spazer, and now I can actually take care of things remotely well. Also, yeah, you can head back in there and get the Spazer again. Just like if you go back to the original places, the beam power-ups will still be there and you can collect them again. But this is a good area here just so you don't have to go all the way back, say to Area 1 to get the Ice Beam for some reason. So yeah, that's why I like Area 6, because it feels like a pit stop sort of area. It feels very friendly. God knows why there's something down here. I guess the Chozo had something to do with this. Actually, that could explain a lot of things in Metroid that aren't exactly clear. I don't know, the Chozo's probably got something to do with it. They probably lived here once. Who knows? And right here, this will be our last energy tank. Haha, just kidding. You can't go through this Metroid shell for some reason. Despite the fact I'm trying very hard to go through it. No, instead, you have to go in here. But wait, don't just fall in. No, because this area is pitch black, supposedly. So, yeah, we have to go back up to the top. This is the only area that's pitch black in the entire game. Spider ball. And hopefully feel our way around. Use bombs as indicators as to where we might be. So you really just got to press some buttons and pray there, I find. But if you play your cards right, you can go back up here and get yourself an energy tank. I think there's actually another energy tank in the area. Somewhere. So yeah, there you go. There's a missile expansion down there, but who needs it? So yeah, this area is annoying, but I think you can actually jump out from the bottom of the Metroid shell up to the top. I think something weird like there's no explanation as to why you can't go through that shell, but alright. So yeah, the next few Metroids are sort of above the tower there. Oh, sorry, the tower! I haven't said that in a while. So there's a Zeta down here. I believe it's a Zeta. And, you know, head off and fight it. Need a refill, go back in there and refill. Oh no, it's just a Gamma. Yeah, Gammas slowly start to become the most prominent Metroid, which I guess makes sense, but I'm talking as you know, the entire game as a whole, Gammas seem to be the most prominent. Which you think would be Alphas, but no, it seems to be a lot more Gammas than Alphas, from what I'm noticing. Unless I'm wrong, and there actually are more Alphas than Gammas. But I can't tell. It's not how it feels, at least. The good thing about those enemies, and actually a few new enemies coming up now, is that when you kill them, they drop big health pickups. Which is very good. So here we go, a missile refill station. I don't know why I'm using the spider ball here. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Yeah, okay, hang on. That rock sprite there is the exact same one as the one that could only be destroyed by missiles from earlier. And now it doesn't even need to be that. Uh-oh, there's a Zeta in the tower, our little base area thing. So it's been overrun a little bit. I mean, there's enemies everywhere, so there we go. But now, from now on, instead of shooting a missile directly at a Metroid before starting a battle with it, you want to shoot it. If it's going to be a Zeta, then you want to shoot it slightly above, because it rises out of the shell. And now you can notice there's a big visual drastic difference between Gammas and Zetas, because Alphas and Gammas were pretty visually similar to original Metroids, and then Zetas have sort of become their own thing, which is pretty cool. Just a neat little visual detail. I mean, now they have eyes, but I think they started having eyes with Alphas. So there you go. I think if you come here... you get the screw attack. There we go. Alright. So now we pretty much have every upgrade in the game. I can't think of anything we're missing out on, actually. So I think we do have every upgrade in the game. So just like the original, screw attack is likely the thing you'll get last. But yeah, combined with the space jump, the screw attack is very useful now. Because in the original it was decent, but you know, it wasn't that great. Not many practical uses for it, because the thing is with the original Metroid, you don't really want to fight anything. You just sort of keep moving. Because there's no point in fighting things, you're just going to get beat up. So I think we still have maybe this last Metroid to take care of. It's actually in the way of a health restore thing there, so I guess if you want to get to it, you gotta go through this guy first. You can easily cheese by doing this. You will take some damage, but I mean, actually no, it's like the Dragon fight from Super, where you just grapple onto the exposed electrical wires and then just kill him. You'll take a ton of damage, but you'll kill him really easily. So there we go. Actually, that's not it for Area 6. We still have one more Metroid to get, I believe. So yeah, only 7 left. Look, what is this enemy, and what is its hitbox? Look at that. Its hitbox is ridiculous. I don't know how you're supposed to hit it with the plasma. I could barely hit it with the Spazer. So this should be the last one down here. See, you're starting to see why I love Area 6 now, because it's just this big central hub where you can easily restore, refill, save, get whatever power-up you want, get a bunch of new power-ups, i.e. one, and see a new type of Metroid. So yeah, it introduces them in a safe environment. Sort of. That's not exactly what a safe environment means in a game, but a safe-ish environment, as in you got insurance. Whereas with Gammas, they just start introducing a ton of them at the same time, and then, you know, you're in these big convoluted areas, i.e. Area 3. And, you know, in these tight little spaces, you gotta fight them. And this one isn't, I'll be honest, this space isn't exactly great for fighting Zetas, but there you go. Actually, yeah, I haven't mentioned that yet, but if you notice on the pause screen there, when you press pause and you look down the Metroid counter, the Metroid sprite is replaced with the letter L. L for Leroy. And the number next to the what was the Metroid sprite is different. That's because the L stands for left, as in the amount of Metroids left in the area. So if I have L2, that means I have to kill 2 more Metroids before the lava level will drop. That's a neat little tool that I completely forgot about until, well, I forgot to mention until now. See, no, it's not too bad. So I keep thinking this is Super and you can go into the morph ball in midair. If that's something that I will absolutely compliment this game over Metroid 1, is that Metroid 1, it feels archaic in control. You can tell it was the Metroid roots, right? Because Super is where the 2D Metroid control scheme and feel started to really be cemented and become what it is now. In fact, it hasn't really changed from that, aside from the run button being taken out. And, you know, you don't really feel that with the original. You feel what they were going, you feel that it was going to become that, but you didn't really feel like it was there yet. With this game, I still feel like, you know, we're just about there, pretty much. Sure, we can't shoot diagonally, but it still feels like Metroid. You got the space jump, you still got being able to shoot down at least. It doesn't feel that restrictive. Controlling Samus is not a chore. She's actually fun to control in this game. You know, the only real things that I can think of that aren't as good as Super are stuff like not being able to go into the morph ball in midair. And, I mean, there's no super missiles or power bombs, but I guess you don't really need those. So... even in Super, they're really just... power bombs are really just used for convenience and opening yellow doors. And super missiles are just used for convenience and opening green doors. Convenience as in, well, they're stronger than regular missiles, so you're gonna use them before anything else. Alright, so that's it for Area 6, so yeah, that's actually the longest area that we're gonna have ever. From now on, they're gonna be much shorter than that. Every single area is gonna be much shorter than that. So as we head into the depths of the cave here, we're gonna head into Area 7. See these weird coconut things? These rocks. But, yeah, Area 7 itself, I can't remember. Was Area 7? I can't remember. Area 7, I think, might be the one where you have... I'm trying to remember, seriously. Where you have an Alpha and one other Metroid. I think that's it. But actually, I don't think we see Zetas again, if I'm honest. I think we might see one or two. Let me think about that, actually. So there's that one left. No, I don't think we see another Zeta at all. Wow, so Zeta's a Area 6 exclusive. Wow. I haven't really thought about that before, so there's only, what, 3 or 4 Zetas in the entire game. So we're about to go fight an Alpha. You know, which is, one, I guess shows you, oh, you've come so far. And two, it's also really cool to say, like, oh, well, not everything's survived into, or evolved, at least. Because, yeah, that was original Metroid, now it's an Alpha, so... Huh. Weird. And down it goes, so... now, you see there were 2 Metroid shells there. Now, this area is very strange. This is Area 7. So there's an earthquake going off, right? We're not actually done with this area yet.